Hey everyone, today GNT is bringing you another interview, and this time we have one of Fear's Fortnite specialists, Creed.
So, just to kickstart us off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, to start, my name is Creed. I'm a competitive player for Fe4r, obviously under Strauss and Apollo. I've been in the scenes for a little while, 2 years maybe. I kind of started playing South African competitive. Obviously, everyone starts at the bottom. I wasn't placing great. Hadn't made any money since about like a year ago, I want to say, or half a year ago. Kind of getting my name a bit more out there. It hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of hard work, to be honest, a lot of grinding. It's just a game, but it still does take a bit of effort to get to the top, and hopefully I'll get there one day.
How did you get into the Fortnite comp scene?
It was really just by watching Aero streams, watching players back over the years playing in these kind of tournaments, and I was just like, that's pretty cool. I wanna be a part of that. I wanna be good. I wanna be like them. And then it kind of just slowly went to me playing on my PS4, then slowly playing on my dad's PC, and then starting to compete. And yeah, all went from there.
What was your biggest and most proudest achievement in the scene?
Jeez, that's a tough question. Because there hasn't been like any major tournaments, I'd probably say this win has been a big boost for me. Recently, there's been medal states, there've been ACGLs that I've placed in, but to win, I think, a not so common tournament like EPS, I think that does a little bit more for me than the other smaller midweek tournaments. I think I speak for my whole trio when I say it feels really good. To come into the first really big tournament in a while makes it feel that much better. And what really topped it off was proving so many players who doubted that we could actually go on and do well, nonetheless go on and win. That just speaks for itself, really. I'm really proud.
Were there any funny or tense moments you recall from the tournament?
Well, playing tournaments, you're always gonna kind of look back with your teammates and think, "Oh, remember when this happened? Remember when that happened?" So, I think for me, what was pretty funny was in the last game we got chased around by one team, Ashbot's team, for about 15 minutes, and it was it was funny, but it was also like quite intense because we knew if we didn't live or we didn't kind of get away from them, we weren't necessarily gonna do as well as we did in the tournament. So that was one of the intense moments I recall, as well as in tournaments you're in constant end games, 40, 50 players. One bad choice, one wrong move kind of can ruin your whole tournament. So when it comes to that aspect of the game, end games are more times than not like kind of stressful in that scene.
I'm sure that the final was the most tense for you. I know that on the leaderboard, you and the team that came second place, you weren't far behind on points. So I'm sure that must be intense because you guys did get eliminated 5th place at the final.
Going into that game, we were about 30 points ahead, so we kind of knew that we already had an advantage, but we also knew that if we didn't kind of take that opportunity and make sure to progress even further on the leaderboard, we weren't going to end up holding the 1st place position, because with such good teams such as the 2nd place team, Seven, Way, Travis, anything is really possible.
Out of all the teams, were there any you were wary of as close competitors?
Definitely. Going into the tournament, there's a lot of tough opposition. Especially after the first 2 games, we were 70 points behind Way, Travis, and Seven, because they obviously are extremely consistent. They won back-to-back games, as a matter of fact. That made it extremely hard for us to come back, but at the end of the day, we played consistent and we were rewarded with an insane comeback.
Was there a moment where you thought you guys weren't going to win?
Yeah, definitely. After game 2, when, as I mentioned before, the gap between third and first, because we were in third at that time, was about 70 points. So, I mean, I even said to my team, I was like, we may as well just play for second at this point because they were really close to us. But then after game 3, we kind of knew we got a second place with a few kills. That's when we knew, like, okay, wait, we've closed this gap by about 30 points. All we need is 30 so or more points. And for first place to have one minor mess up in their game, and I mean, that just allowed us to slip back in and take first.
Hey, GNT, like he called it in game 3 that he was gonna win, and they did, which was insane.
Where were we? We were like in third or so. We were in second, I think, by like 30 points or so.
Yeah.
So you knew by game 3 that you guys were going to win.
Well, I mean, we didn't know it, but I was definitely a lot more confident. I think coming out of a big win really did boost the vibes for the team. I mean, it was definitely up there with one of the top moments. As, I mean, if you've seen the clip from our page, I mean, our reactions were like off the charts. We were really, really gassed with that. And I think that kind of just gave us that extra motivation to go on to win the whole tourney.
So being able to win against tough competitors, I'm sure the dynamic between the three of you has to be strong. What is it about your trio that is unique to go up against and have a place amongst the best?
Well, I mean, coming into this tournament, I think it was definitely a lot harder than it was for most because we only formed this trio a few days before the qualifiers and had so little time to get practice in, to get some scrims in, and kind of feel how each other played. But I mean, I feel what brought it together was the fact that I was playing with two incredible fighters. And I mean, as long as they have the qualities of being able to listen well and fight as a team, like not playing individual, I mean, that just makes a complete difference to how far a team can go. And I mean, when you put their fighting with my in-game leading, I kind of knew that we were going to do well. Like I always thought going into the tournament, the top 3 position was always there. But then I think after playing Metal States, ACGL, and the previous qualifiers, like we had that kind of instant connection. And I mean, at the end of the day, what brought it all together was confidence. I mean, we were confident in ourselves and in each other. And I mean, we trusted God. I mean, what more can you do than that?
So we can't begin to wrap up this interview without mentioning Fe4r. So what is it about Fe4r Esports that makes you proud to wear and stand behind the name?
At Fe4r, I mean, we have a lot of good friends. I think a lot of us are quite close in that aspect. We have good banter always. So, I mean, that makes it enjoyable to play and speak with each other, and especially to play for the players in your org. I mean, knowing that they're always behind you and you're always behind them. So, I mean, we have quite a good close relationship with that. As well as, I mean, the most important part, I think, is having good management and leadership in the team. So, I mean, from Charles and Apollo's side, they really do take care of us. They do a lot for us, more than they know. And I mean, how can you not want to perform as well as grind? I mean, I think grinding is the hardest thing, to have the motivation deep down to actually keep working. But I mean, when you have a good team behind you, I mean, that really does make all the difference.
So out of both the owners, who's your favorite?
I mean, that's a tough question. If I had to choose between the two, I'd definitely say Apollo, though. I mean, it's actually quite clear because back in December, I was playing one of Strauss's customs, a fashion show to be exact, and he eliminated my skin combo. So, I mean, I'm still...
You still salty over that? You still salty over that?
Yeah, I wanted the free gift. What can I say?
What was the theme? What was the theme in the fashion show?
What was it? I think it was something about stepsister.
Oh, wow. Hey, yo, what? Stepsister.
Hey, don't look at me. Look at Strauss. He's the one who hosted that damn thing.
In your opinion, who are the best Fortnite players on the African scene at the moment?
That's a really tough question because there are always so many good players, and most of the time there's a lot of people and players up and coming that you kind of think are going to succeed. I mean, you hope they will, but then they don't kind of meet that expectation that you think they will. But I mean, then there's obviously a lot of players who actually do, and they really do prove you wrong. But for me, consistency-wise, I would definitely say Tem, Reepsy, Banda, Genie, Seven, Way, Travis, Ghostpaker are definitely all up there. I mean, even Izza. I mean, there's obviously a few players that I haven't mentioned who would definitely be up there with them, but I think there's just so many players in general that it's kind of hard to remember and name absolutely everybody who's at the top.
Was there any of the names that you mentioned, any of them that inspired you, and how you inspired you to actually play Fortnite and to play in the comp scene?
Definitely. I mean, before I kind of got into the competitive scene, I mean, watching the different players such as Genie, Tem, Reepsy, like Luka Rakic, Neymar, back way back then, like a few years ago, like them playing, that kind of, I guess you could say, inspired me to get more into the South African competitive scene.
I was gonna be a little bit cheeky and ask, is there anybody that you like coming for?
I mean, the day before the tournaments, I mean, two players, Jamie and Neymar, kind of egoed me. They were like, "Who are you? Like, we don't really know who you are." And I mean, then to go on and all their points in finals was quite funny, I'd say. So I mean, it's not really like a rivalry or anything. Like, I don't have beef with them, but that kind of just motivated me to go on and do even better than I think we were gonna do. Because to have someone like kind of say that to your face, I mean, yeah, really just wanted me to, or made me want to prove more of a point. Not to them, but to myself, because I knew I could do it. But it's just down to how badly I wanted it.
So I just want to say thank you to Creed and Strauss for sitting down with GNT for this interview, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to interview one of our star players. Yeah, appreciate it.